We've arrived at the final result reveal video of this color analysis case study client. If you've missed the other parts of this video and want to follow along, I highly recommend you go back to part 1 and start from there. Spoiler alert, her final result will be revealed in this video. And I'm so pleased to report that like most of you got this. So I'm just gonna immediately jump in. This client is a true autumn, fully warm skin undertone. And so if you thought she was muted, you can go back to the last video, but the muted colors make her grade and really steal her thunder. There's disconnection with the color and her, whereas she's more energized and healthier coloring over here. Same deal with the warm palette colors. They aren't better than the True Autumn, and all of you know the color analysis checks now, so if you were thinking either muted or warm, you can go back to my prior video and keep looking. A couple of you said deep, but the deep colors are also making her grade and dragging down the jawline. They aren't better, they're swallowing her up. Here you see her before the color. Her coloring is more energized. So go back to my last video as well and study the images and do the color analysis checks as well, because deep is not better than True Autumn. Here's a look at the in-person set of that. It's too heavy. The color is stealing her focus. Here she's more in focus. Her coloring goes shadowed and grayed. Here her skin is more bright, smooth, and energized. This client was so happy to receive a True Autumn result because she loves like mustards and oranges and things like that. She's naturally gravitated towards those colors, and so she's absolutely thrilled to receive this result. Here's her with the fabric flag on her of the True Autumn palette with her current colored hair uncovered. That evening, some friends and our latest case study client went out for dinner, and she totally showed up in a True Autumn burnt red color, which was stunning. Like, she literally walked in the room and people were like, wow. And look at her necklace as well. If you zoom in, it's in the deep yellow gold family, which is recommended for True Autumn. I'm not the best photographer, especially in this lighting, so hopefully you can see her glow. Here's another image I captured that evening as well. It was quite dark out. Here's her holding a couple lipstick accessors in her palette. So here's one of them. Here's another one of them. And another one of them. There's going to be a bit of pause on this series because of my schedule. In the meantime, if you want to do case study series clients, I highly recommend Carol and Karen's Color Club, which is available in the products menu on my website. Once all the objective checks of color analysis are met, it's truly about harmony. You can see the eyes first, everything else second. If you go back through my previous clients in the series, you can see that as well. It's about your skin being as smooth as possible. It's a facelift without the surgery. In the last 5 or so videos of my case study series, what you don't see is sort of the client talking and their perspective. And while in many of my videos I'm waving pom-poms and what have you, for many, and I'm gonna change that to most people, it's actually an emotional experience. So I would never wave pom-poms and things like that ever as the client's going through this journey. Example is, I color analyzed somebody who for 40 years was living as a winter, and recently she received a True Autumn result from me, which she couldn't unsee when she saw the report, but she was in such shock. I would never be waving pom-poms going through that. I shared with you a long time ago that a color analysis teacher I know who was doing a presentation in front of an audience gave a color analysis result to an audience member on the fly, and the person freaked out, like literally in front of the audience, everything, started yelling at her. And 3 weeks later, the client had processed it all and contacted the teacher and apologized and ended up hiring her for an overall style consultation as well. But it's an emotional journey for some. Someone commented yesterday on my post saying, "Oh, everybody looks so happy in their colors." I wouldn't gauge somebody's happiness around the process to be an indicator of what their result may be, whether they're smiling or not, because that could be likes and dislikes showing up. And sometimes it takes a long time for somebody to accept a result, and sometimes never, which is okay. Here's a quote of mine that was featured in the BBC article I was in. "I've witnessed people's lives change." And I know that might sound petty, but when colors are harmonized with somebody, I've literally seen people's lives change. They enter new social situations, new romances, increased sales, promotions, new job opportunities. I've seen it happen for years. Sometimes diving into colors perhaps you weren't liking or disliking is actually expanding your horizons, in my opinion. Equate that to, I've shared with you the story that I actually didn't want to take color analysis. It was a mandatory program. And I realized when I started the program, the first couple classes, I loved it. And that's when I took an advanced programming, and it all evolved from there. So sometimes what you resist is actually where you should go. I also hope this series so far has shown you a bit more about the system that I use. It's not just about your natural hair color, but your natural hair color is a great way to help dive in, but ultimately the color comparisons speak for themselves, whether they be the virtual comparisons or the in-person ones. Please read bios before judging content and service providers, because credentialed professionals may be doing different things than independent methods. If somebody is arriving at a different color analysis result, it means they're doing something different from credentialed professionals, for example, in the system I use. It's not about does the color overwhelm you or not. It's about looking ultimately at everything, skin, everything, jawline, lips, and what have you. So this person was given a soft autumn result from somebody using a self-taught or independent method. And so she's wearing colors that were recommended for her here. Can you see? Not only are they not passing color analysis checks, but it's stealing her vibrancy. There's another look at that. This is a color set that was recommended to her. Here, the color is overwhelming her at the jawline. Color, eyes, skipping over face, overwhelming. Versus here, she was given a true summer result, and sometimes it's about turning on the down the dials of warmth and tanginess, for lack of better words. And so while many people think the true summer colors are dull, they actually add vibrancy to her. This is harmony. A wide array of content out there has forced credentialed professionals to make clarifications around naturally red-haired people not having a fully cool undertone because of lighting, reflection, and harmony. Karen Brunger is the founder of the International Image Institute, which has trained people in color analysis since 1984. It has evolved since then to a 23 palette system. If you want to train with the International Image Institute, you can find the link within the services menu on my site. If you want assistance in identifying how to tell if somebody is credentialed in color analysis or doing a self-taught or independent method, you can go to the Be Colourwise checklist within the services menu on my website. And as a reminder, all my Be Colourwise case study series clients are within one playlist on my YouTube. I wish you all a sparkly day.